Hey, 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 hey! Greetings and salutations to you people of the interwebs. So today we're going to do an unboxing and a quick first impressions of this guy. This is Transformers Studio Series 86, number 8. It is the Gnaw, the Sharkticon. Yeah, so we've got this little guy. As usual, got some artwork there. This is looking just this little angry boy. It doesn't really reflect the sculpt, to be honest with you, but it's cool art nevertheless. I think kind of like some of these I have actually cut out and kept as like kind of bookmarks or something like that. So I might keep that one because it's just a little ball of anger. Sounds like it's probably one of the Decepticon Headmaster Juniors. Angara. But yeah, we're going to open him up and give you some first impressions of this guy. So, straight out of Transformers the movie, which is a Transformers movie. So he is in a clamshell. You can see he comes in lots of different bits there with his fin and the top arm of the shark, his tail. That's a weapon tail anyway, and the main course itself, the Sharkticon. We do get, what's we call in the box, the mockery of justice, bit of cardboard. Yeah, I could understand why people like these, but I don't have the space, so recycling. And just instructions and warnings. But we're gonna not get into that. So, of course, the dreaded twisty ties. 1, 2, 3, 4, and robot mode is out of the packaging. We have a fifth around the tail section, but it doesn't need it, it's quite tight in there, and 6 to remove this part, and there we go. I'm not even going to remove, we're just going to slip it past the 7th one, and then we're going to do that for the 8th. Just a case of removing that for his gun. So yeah, that's all his accessories. I think we're going to peg this guy together. Let's see, so this makes up a hood. Let's see, there's a peg there, there's a port there. It's whether this kind of, right, there's a slot there and a slot here, so I think maybe rather than it pegging in straight, it kind of, you get that, and that goes over there, and that just kind of sits back, and we can get the fin and plug that back there for now. Kind of neaten him up a little bit. Yeah, and that's our little, oh. Yeah, it's nice to have a little chunky robot. It's good to feel represented in plastic form, isn't it? Yeah, there's something about Sharkticons. Let's just give it that knee's a bit loose. Can't. I'm not going to hold him by the knee while I make points, because otherwise he's going to be flopping all over and be distracting. But we can hold him by the thigh. That's fine. Sharkticons, they're in the movie. They're this menace. They act like piranhas, really. And, when justice is served, people are fed to them. They eat them. They die. And then, obviously, Hot Rod and Cup are in the... are dunked into the tank. And they spin around super fast like cars, disperse some of the water. They have fights and they die in the droves, just getting smashed around, tails ripped off, smashed into faces, clawing their own to death by accident. The Dinobots come up in and make even shorter work until they face a moment of crisis where the Quintessons are telling them, no, execute them, the intruders. And Grimlock turns around and goes, whoa, no. Me, Grimlock say, you execute them. And that's when they transform. That's the first time, we see them in this robot mode. So the rest of the film, they've been treated like monsters, like just creatures, like mindless drones. And they look at each other and decide to revolt. So it's this change in character, this character change, this character arc that's represented in the most transformative way. Is that by actually transforming and becoming this more humanoid creature, that's when they have a change of heart and a change of character. And there's something of a cherub, there's this look of cherub innocence in the shapes and the forms and the head sculpts of the robot mode of a Sharkticon. It does look like an innocent. That's why it's kind of, we immediately accept that change of heart, is because they've changed on the outside as well. Instantly, they've revealed this innocence in their mode. So I just find it's quite interesting. Maybe it's not much to do with the toy, but there you go. That's my riff on this cherub-like innocence of the Sharkticon robot mode. His head's on a ball joint. It feels very stupid to talk about articulation after that, to be honest with you. Ball jointed arms, bicep swivel, elbow. His wrist can go in and out. It's articulation joint that's obviously also a transformation joint. Disappointingly, there's no waist swivel. It feels like there maybe could have been, but it feels like maybe they should have tried to find the way there for a deluxe class in 2021. It's disappointing, and you can kick out a little bit. Kick forward, kick back, not the Insecticon. Thigh swivel, deep enough knee joint, so you can do a little stomping. These guys aren't supposed to be the most articulate things going. And then a mad crazy ankle tilt, look at that, whoa, and a heel. So that's maybe a little bit too much, that. Because it's just bad, and just makes no sense and completely breaks up the sculpt. But there you go, you've got it. They've committed to it, and there it is. So he's got his weapons. He's got his tail club. It can swing around, which is more often probably used by other people than a Sharkticon itself. It's got one hinge there to go back and forth. It looks like all these should be. In the days of Beast Wars, all of those would have been a fully articulated tail. I would tell you, we've gone backwards a little bit on that. And he's got his gun. That gun looks a lot like, that's very much looks like Slag's gun. Yeah, there you go. You can hold that just fine. That's cool. He is a transformer. Well, is he a transformer? He's from the planet Quintessa. He's a Quintessan. But he's in the Transformers line, so he does transform. He's a Sharkticon, he does transform. So we're going to try and do that. Let's just flip all this stuff out here. Oh no, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We've not done the size companions, have we? So here he is with another deluxe class transformer. Yeah, see, he's not doing too well on the size chart there, but you know he's got a lot of accessories. He's very deep. It's so deep they had to put him, you know, in several parts in his box. With a classic G.I. Joe scale figure. He's with a Dread Pirate, Zanzibar. Hello. Stay out of the water. With a Marvel Legends 6-inch, the lovely Shatterstar. Maybe go on Mojo World fighting each other. And with the hipster, the Fisto. Yeah. Oink. Don't, he's in it. Look, he looks like an innocent. You can't just punch him like that, you hipster scum. Right. Transformation. Right, here we go. So we've moved all those. I'm going to flip these hands in because these become legs. You can see his little... Oh, here he is with the last Sharkticon we had from the Titan's Return, or one of those lines. So this is a legend scale. They call them legend scale then, or scout scale. And here he is as a fully grown deluxe. Yeah, so we flip the hands in. I'm going to do this like so. Let's have a look. There's definitely bits. This bit feels like it should open up somehow. I'm going to flip those in. Flip these around. Oh, this is one of those kind of like, how far do we push a joint kind of transformations. Something feels like it should do something. Right, okay, there's a spin. There's a spin there. That's why it looks like it separated, but it spins because there's a little thing. So the spin is in. I repeat, we have spinned. So I'm going to kind of fold these legs up, maybe. Like so. We get these Sharkticon joints. Maybe these ridiculous ankle tilts say it served a purpose and they have to go like so. Or maybe they don't. Let's just have a look. Right, so bend the boot all the way in, like so. There's a couple of pegs I see here. I see some ports there in the thighs, so they feel like they'll go together. And I think we just need to clean this up now. I think his head just is kind of some kind of rotary chomping tongue here. It just kind of stays there even when his mouth's closed. Okay, Sharky. Sharky and George, the crime busters of the sea. Yeah. Whack this tail in here. And there's like a little peg there on the end of this gun. And there's a port here, so you can have that. So you can store his weapon there. But we're going to remove that because just have a proper look at this guy. Wow, yeah. So, like, talk about a totally, change in character. There's something unique again about the actual Sharkticon itself. This kind of, we've kind of captured the sphericalness is maybe a bit long than they were in the film, but they've got like the more right. The way they've painted the eyes are beautiful. Don't know, that they've captured that this metallic kind of death stir on them. They take on the detail and all the like it's within the mold and little ridges and all the kind of tech kind of stuff that's coming off. It's very florodilly kind of flourishes that really kind of make this guy in that color palette. Let's make these frightening kind of eaty chompy things that are eventually going to become kind of some innocent things. So what color palette should we put on that? Well, we'll do this dark kind of grey, move into a lighter grey, move into a pink and a blue, So yeah, you've got these dark colours, these dark sharkish colours, and then go into these very childlike blues and pinks. Just so clever. Something about it. It's just so, and they're unique as well. These Sharkticons. There's nothing else. I mean, we do have the Alicons and all that type of stuff going on, and the Quintessons, with the squiddiness and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in Transformers that's very unique, but especially in the quintessence kind of visual dialogue. But there's something. If you told someone to design a shark robot person, I feel like this would be the last design you come up with. This does not feel like this is not an on the nose design. It's got the fins and it's got the arms and it's got the stumpy legs, so it is like a shark robot thing. But yeah, that visual cue there is more piranha. So maybe at one point they were just going to be called Piranhacons or something like that, and then that's a name that stuck around and was used later on in Transformers with the Seacons. But for now, I'm going, Sharkticons. And this is kind of with mace tail and stuff like that. All those little really unique little features that make it more than just being a robot fish killer thing. It makes it its own unique kind of, we've got all these different features, and then you use them all, like the club tail gets broken off and used by Cup, and these teeth get shattered in various different stages, faces get pulled off, and then they revolt and show the cherubistic innocent side. So yeah, I think the paint looks really good on this. You know, they've painted, you know, the face really well. Like I said, the eyes are beautiful. There's not much articulation here on these little tiny hands, very tiny. But you've got all this articulation in the mouth that obviously reveals the silly head in here. It's kind of trying to be a tongue. You know, he's got a big enough chomping feature on the. He's got a similar articulation in his legs than he did in his arms because they're the same thing. And you can kind of waggle his tail around because that's the mace weapon. And you can aim his fin if you wanted to. So Studio Series Sharkticon. I'm glad I got hold of one. I'm not going to go mad on these and, you know, buy an army. I think just having one is just good enough. But your mileage may vary, and I would not hold anything against you if you decided that you wanted to go all in and just create just a mass, just horde of these guys, because they're pretty much the real deal. I think, yeah, the Studio Series is just such an impressive line. The ones that I've picked up with the actual movie releases have been decent enough for, you know, even though I'm not really that keen on the designs themselves, but they've all been, you know, well-made figures, and I think really this Studio Series, this 86 line is just marvellous, and probably what a lot of Transformers collectors have wanted for a very long time is now finally being done. I think these boxes have been ticked definitively. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next when all this is finished, when all these characters have been done. Because I feel like going back and redoing these characters just doesn't feel like, I don't think there's enough that they've got wrong to merit them doing them again, rather than just re-releasing the molds with maybe a bit of extra paint or something like that. It just feels like, they're done now. These characters are done. Well, anyway, I've been Bristol Yeti. Do the usual YouTube things. If you've made it this far, you can like, comment, subscribe. You can, I was going to say something, but just wrongness was coming into my head. So instead of going onto some negative spiral, I'll leave you with be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. Because you deserve it, let's give each other a big old virtual fist bump. So, with me, Fisto!